you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick Podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick Podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond
The sickest NHL podcast. Brought to you by TCS Customs and Logistics. Moving pieces, delivering peace of mind. It's gonna be sick.
The Chuck brothers are on the ice, flanking Jack Eichel and John Cooper. Look out! They're going to drop the gloves right away. Matthew Tkachuk and Brandon Hagel right off the hop. The tone's been set. Has it ever? And he's had words with Sam Bennett as well.
Yeah, watch.
I don't think we're done.
No, I don't think so either. Parayko's just waiting and...
Yep. Sam Bennett, Brady Tkachuk. So the Tkachuks both get involved early. And Sam Bennett's not going to back down even though he's outweighed. What a tilt. What a start. There's the puck fired in by McAvoy. Binnington gets a touch, and we might have more. Parayko and Miller. And Miller dropped the gloves, and Parayko's going to answer. And Parayko's going to answer in a big way.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here in the Sick Podcast Network. I am Jimmy Murphy. He is Pierre McGuire. We are live once again at West End Johnny's, 138 Portland Street in Boston, right down the street from TD Garden, in between the two Four Nations face-off games. Canada with a 5-3 win over Finland, sealing the deal for them to go into the final, and a rematch of what you just heard there with USA on Thursday night here at TD Garden, 8 p.m. start. Pierre, this place is rocking.
Do you know what this is called?
It's called Cold Snap.
Cold Snap. And Johnny Caron, our man here, wanted me to just say,
oh yeah,
Cold Snap.
That is one of our sponsors behind this, Cold Snap and the Sun Cruisers. I see a lot of people drinking those Cold Snaps.
How about the bar here tonight?
I handed one, and I said, hey, unfortunately, I can't drink beer. And the gentleman right here said, don't worry, I'll take care of it. So,
Jimmy, this
nice.
is impressive.
It is packed. It is
so
packed.
I've been here since 11 o'clock this morning. I went and watched the afternoon game. But from 11 to 12, I was here. It was mayhem.
Yeah.
Mayhem in here. And I know you were driving, and great job by you to take the extra effort to get here.
I made it.
I'm glad you're safe and sound.
Yep.
But this is what hockey's all about.
It is. It is.
And like, I'm so happy for Johnny. I'm thrilled to death for the fans. I've met people from Cole Harbor, Halifax, Moncton, Antigonish, Edmonton, Houston, Texas. One of my old players, Chucky Brooks, came here with his family, and I haven't seen him since I coached him. You know, like so many. It's been amazing. It's been awesome. It
is cool. And, you know, we see Pierre around. It's not just international hockey or pro hockey. It's transcending all levels. Tons of college hockey stuff going on here. And speaking of, we are going to have the ECAC commissioner, Doug Christensen, join us here right on the Eye Test.
We have breaking news. You and I will be there in Lake Placid, New York for the ECAC tournament.
Wow.
And so we're really excited about that. Commissioner Christensen and I worked the deal today, so we're excited to be there. Hi.
I'm so excited for that, Pierre.
Thank you for saying hello.
You've told me many stories about Lake Placid and just the mystique of it, but not just obviously for the USA Hockey point of view, but also from the ECAC playoffs and championships. You've been there. You were there last year. You broadcasted from. You'll be doing that again. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's a real honor. First of all, I'm really happy that you get a chance to be there. Secondly, you know, since 1979, I've been in the ECAC. I was a player in the ECAC. I was a coach in the ECAC. I broadcast and work for the ECAC, so I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the league. Commissioner Christensen done an amazing job with the league. And it's appropriate that he's here because he's a guy that played at the University School in Wisconsin. He went to Union College, and he's seeing this great event. He's part of, he's been part of the USHL. He played professionally. So I think it's really neat that he's here today. And I'm thrilled to death that we're going to be part of their thing going forward. I got to tell you, Saturday night in Montreal was great. I wasn't there for it. I watched it on TV. So this was my Saturday, Jimmy. I watched Sweden, Finland in the afternoon.
Okay.
Then I watched UMass Lowell Northeastern in Lowell on Saturday night. Then I watched Canada, obviously, USA Saturday night.
Were you able to see the beginning?
Yes.
With the clip we just saw? All right, Pierre. I don't think we're going to see that again at the beginning, but do you think we can replicate the atmosphere and the intensity that I was there in person for at the Bell Center? Because, Pierre, I'll tell you, you and I were going back and forth, and I said, as for me, my experience, and I've been going there for 20 years now, that was one of the loudest and most intense and euphoric atmospheres I've ever seen in that building. Now, you said, well, don't forget when Saku Koivu came.
Saku Koivu, when I was there, I was working that night. Hard to be. I'm just telling you, that one was pretty amazing.
No one does it like Montreal.
No,
the presentation,
they're the best.
everything.
They're the best.
And we're not going to get into the whole national anthem thing. That's a whole other topic. But what I will say is the O Canada version, when they just let the crowd take it, it was amazing. I was playing it for my daughter. She was getting ready to go to Las Vegas the next day with her mom, and she says, "That's the whole crowd. Like that's 20,000 people." I said, "Yeah, it's amazing." It was just a really cool moment in hockey, and that's what this tournament's been about. Look, here I always admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. I was not optimistic about this tournament coming in terms of the excitement it might be able to generate amongst the fans and the media. Credit to the players in that game for taking it amongst themselves to turn the intensity level up a notch. I think that really helped things, and now we're going to get another rematch in the final on Thursday night here at TD Garden.
First of all, good for you for saying what you just said. Secondly, I thought this tournament had a chance to be really good when we were working at McLean's Public House.
Oh, yes.
And I'll just tell you, when I saw the fans in there at Stu's place, the buzz in there, and I'm like, okay, this got a chance to be pretty good. And then we obviously watched the games, and I'm like, this is going to be – because it started out not as an exhibition game. It was hockey right from the start.
Right off the bat.
And so as soon as I saw the crowd at McLean's Public House, and then I saw the first period, I'm like, okay, this is going to work.
And then, of course, like you said, you had to go back Saturday for your son's game, but I was over at McLean's Public House again, as we were before every game up there in Canada. By the way, thanks to Stu Ashton, the owner there. Thanks to Jägermeister.
Stu, awesome.
The staff. They were amazing. It was great to see some old friends there. But what I found amazing here was they all knew that a blizzard was incoming. And that didn't stop people from coming out. Even I'm not just talking about people that were going to the game. Obviously, they're going to go. They paid a lot of money. I'm just talking about local fans that filled the pubs. Even when I was walking from McLean's Public House back to the hotel to drop my bag off and then to the Bell Center, mobbed on the sidewalk. I mean, you were like shoulder to shoulder. It was such a great atmosphere.
I walked back and forth from my mother's house, usually a 15-minute walk. It took me about 25 minutes, but I couldn't believe. And I understand, look, Montreal's got some budgetary stuff and everything else. I get it. I had to walk through the snow, and it was almost, I would say,
sidewalks were not
up to my knee. The sidewalks weren't good. But when I saw the people out in that, and then Bill Daly visited us.
Oh, my gosh. Thanks to Bill Daly.
Thank you to Bill Daly from the NHL.
And Jamie Horan for helping set that
Jamie set it up 100%. So it was really special. But I knew that first night when I was with you at Stu's place in McLean Public House, I knew this had a chance to be good because there was too much buzz.
Yeah.
And people were walking, and remember how cold it was?
Yeah. Oh.
People were walking to the pub. And I was like, okay, if they're going to do that, they're going to go to the game.
Yep.
And then if the games are good, it's going to go. And it did. It's worked.
And you know what? I mean, I know it's not as cold temperature-wise here in Boston where we are right now, but, Pierre, I'm driving down. My car was going side to side because it is windy, so that windshield's definitely kicking in. And yet everybody's out here. Everybody's having a good time. They're getting ready for the second game, USA versus Sweden. I know it doesn't mean anything, but people are still excited, and they're looking forward, obviously, to Thursday. Pierre, you were at that game today. I want to get your quick take on that. Then we'll look ahead to USA and Canada, and then we'll bring in our good friend, Doug Christensen. How did Canada win that game? What happened at the end as well for Finland to get back in it?
First of all, I thought Bennington in the first period, a big thing for the Finns is they like to generate their offense off chip, chase, and check hockey. Bennington was awesome handling the puck. It reminded me a lot of 2019 when he came in here for a Game 7 with St. Louis, beat the Bruins. He didn't have to be as good in goal, but where he was really good, reading the play, handling the puck, making an easier game for their defense. Remember, no Alex Pietrangelo, Cale Makar's not 100%.
Nope.
Even though he was good today, he's not 100%. And Shea Theodore not being in the lineup, it's a big loss for them. His puck handling made a big difference. And then John Cooper and his staff deserve a lot of credit. Some subtle little line changes. putting Braden Point with Connor McDavid and Mark Stone, putting Sidney Crosby and Nathan McKinnon on a line. I thought just dominating what they were able to do with Sammy Reinhart. Cycle plays, off the rush, physical, transition. The top 6 forwards for Canada were really good. So that's coaching, making adjustments, really good play by Binnington. And at the end of the game, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I was listening.
I know people are getting all hyped up about
it. And the announcers on TNT as I'm coming down were kind of making it seem like, oh boy, Canada's going to choke. And to me, it was more like
wishful thinking.
Control the whole time.
They were wishful thinking. They don't want wishful thinking. They don't want to say Canada. They don't want Canada, U.S. in the final.
Pierre, I'm sure
they do, but they don't.
Yeah, you know very well what happened when the last time USA beat Canada in the best on best. You know what happened in the next game because you were right there on the ice and you were hearing, what did you hear?
Iggy. Yeah, it was Sidney Crosby in the golden goal. What a call by my former partner, Chris Cuthbert. Iconic call of all time. It was amazing. What an honor to have been there. I'll never forget that moment the rest of my career. You know, you win Stanley Cups, you win individual awards, but to be part of that Olympic experience in Vancouver, pretty special. And I'm witnessing a lot of the same stuff here tonight. This is not the Olympics, Jimmy.
No, it's not.
Never will be.
Never will be.
Next year, but this is as close as you're going to get. 100%. Yeah, great tune-up. Great tune-up.
All right, let's look ahead quickly to the game on Thursday night. USA-Canada rematch. We go look back quick at the first game, Pierre. Go back. Tell me what USA needs to repeat in this game to succeed again.
Well, first of all, they're going to have to get after the Canadian defense on the forecheck. That's going to be a big thing. If they can do that, it's going to be a problem for Canada. They're also going to have to get way more. I know McAvoy was amazingly physical after he got beat by Connor McDavid through the neutral zone. The rest of the game, they were hard on him. They can't give McKinnon any room at all.
Yeah.
Or McDavid, excuse me. They got to be hard on him. They got to be so hard on him. And then the final thing, I think, I would never let Binnington get comfortable handling the puck.
Okay.
I'd put every shoot in the glass.
Yep.
Do not let him handle the puck.
You know, we've been here in a game 7 with Binnington. You know the success he had against the Bruins in that 2019 Stanley Cup. And as you always say, he stole that game. That first period, if it's not for him, they get blown out of the building. How important is it for USA to get the first goal?
I think it's important. I wouldn't panic, though.
It's not.
They have more than they got enough firepower. If they had limited firepower, I'd say, okay, not happening.
Right.
They got enough firepower. And that's going to be, again, I wouldn't panic on that. To me, you got to establish things early in the game. Binnington doesn't handle the puck. Connor McDavid knows it's going to be a really rough night. You got to let him know right away. Now, he's not afraid, but you got to let him know.
Charlie McAvoy.
You got to let him know early. You got to, and then I think the biggest thing is force Canada to defend.
Mm-hmm.
Make the forecheck game omnipresent. Force them to defend. And if you do those 3 things, it's not a complicated game plan, but if you establish those 3 things, your chance of winning if you're America are pretty good.
Yeah, and just in terms of coaching so far, with Mike Sullivan, you've known him forever, right? What's his best asset, you think, as a coach?
He knows when to kick butt. He does. He knows when to back off. He knows when to bring the heat.
Okay.
He's good at that. Tortorella is a really good coach, especially in the role that's there for him now. Johnny Hines is an outstanding coach, and David Quinn is really good when it comes to power play in particular. So their staff, and they've all worked together.
Mm-hmm.
Canada's staff has never worked together. These guys have all worked together. It makes a difference.
Yeah, that is. And all you're right. The symmetry and the experience together. All right, Pierre. So, yeah, I'm looking at that too. I'm with you. I mean, I just think if I'm USA, I don't want what happened at the beginning of the game the other night to happen again. I think it will distract them a bit. I just think get into the game, focus on the game. That was a one-off, I think.
So this is where I think, and Canada doesn't get a lot wrong. I'm telling you, they're really good on all this stuff. But they did get this wrong. All I keep reading is international event, international best on best. This is not an international event.
No, it's not.
This is an NHL event.
Yeah.
It's being played by NHL players with NHL officials in 2 NHL buildings. This is not an international event. And Canada miscalculated. Tommy Wilson should have been on this team. I'm not saying for the Olympics. Tommy should have been on this team. Adam Lowry should have been on this team. And I believe Christopher Tanev should have been on this team. Because if the United States wants to go mess around like they did the other day with the stage fights, I guarantee you with Tommy Wilson there, that's going to end fast.
Yeah, I'm with you on
And
that.
you know what? And I respect Matthew Tkachuk a ton. I respect the whole family. I've worked with Brady. Think the world. I don't think Matthew would fight Tommy Wilson.
No, I don't either. I don't even think they try that, honestly, if Tom Wilson's there. I just think that player has such an intimidation presence.
If
Pierre.
you want to play a shenanigans game, good luck doing it with Tommy.
Yeah.
Good luck.
See. It'll be interesting to see. All right, want to remind everybody we are here at West End Johnny's,
You're in it.
138 Portland Street in Boston, right down the street from the Garden. If you walk out of the Garden, you look across the street, you're going to see Canal Street. You'll want to look to your right, walk diagonally across, and go right down Portland Street, and it will be right here in the corner here. It's a great spot. As Pierre and I have told you, the memorabilia in this place is amazing. All the sports memorabilia that Johnny has collected over the years is unreal. Just a great job here. So we're excited to be here. And again, a big shout out to McLean's Public House up in Montreal for their hospitality and the show they put on. Big shout out to Stu Ashton as well and to Jägermeister. Remember, if you go to your Instagram page there right now, you can still enter the contest to win a Hockey Canada jersey from this Four Nations face-off. You have to tell them what is the meaning of 56 to McLean. So go there right now to the at McLean's Public House Instagram page, and you can do that there. But we're going to switch gears a bit to college hockey, but not really, because there are so many college hockey alums in this tournament and probably in the Olympics again next year. And joining me right here, I don't know, the second time or third time you've been on the eye test?
Definitely the second for
Okay.
sure. We had the one time we were broadcasting live outside of St. Lawrence, and
That's
we obviously did a couple other stuff
parking
along the way.
lot.
That's right.
I
That's
remember
right.
that.
The people are tailgating in the back. Not that dissimilar to this.
Yeah, great stuff. Well, yes, here's Doug Christensen joining us here on the eye test. Doug, you at the first game today?
I was not actually.
Okay, you were like
I had
me
the same
trying to
problem.
get
I had the same
Okay.
problems you did.
What a ride. 9 hours it took me from Montreal to here today. And
But we made it. We
Storm
made
Trump,
it.
but we made it.
We'll get there tonight,
And
and obviously a big game on Thursday as well.
I get to the border, and the guy goes, what was your purpose of being up there in Montreal? I said, Four Nations face-off. You got anything I should know about? No. Go.
Welcome, and you told him I'm going straight there. There you go.
He knew I was running late. He could tell, and he just goes, just get out of here. It was great. But yeah, what do you think of this atmosphere so far?
I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, in my own personal experience, I had the opportunity to be involved in international competition as a coach with Olympic qualifying events and the World Championships. And there's just something different when they play the national anthem and you have a nation on your jersey. It just is. As much as we can talk about how great the NHL is or college hockey is, there's just something different when on the international stage. And we saw that the other night, and we'll see it again tonight. And you see that pride in both of all of the players and all the teams, and I think that that's absolutely fantastic.
I find it fascinating too, and I agree with everything that you just said. I find it fascinating that some of these guys are going up against their teammates from another country, and the fact that they can just sort of turn off that switch and flip on the national switch, I think it's amazing. It just shows you how much it means to them to play for their country, and also just to represent the sport, and that's what we're seeing here. Like I was just saying to Pierre, not only have we seen international jerseys, we've seen NHL jerseys, I've seen college jerseys. We're celebrating hockey.
Well, for me, you look at all of the players across, everybody wakes up and they've dreamt of this their whole life. Whether you're an American, you looked at 1980. I mean, I can tell you where I was in 96 with my teammates, the World Cup of Hockey and the Canadians celebrating with it. And I can remember watching it, the Olympics when Sidney Crosby scores an over. You can visualize those moments. And the players are the same way. So when you talk about flipping the switch, I think sometimes there's a little bit of the banter that goes along with it too, that, they might be able to rock them during a game and then they can see them a few days later and laugh about it. So I think there's a camaraderie there. There's a respect there. And obviously these guys are going at it full tilt, and it's been really fun for everybody to watch, and it's going to be a great week here in Boston.
Well, I know it's also an exciting time in the ECAC right now. We're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. Talk to us about the buzz heading in right now.
Well, our women's side starts playoffs this week. At one point in time, we had 10 of the top 20 teams in the country, which is, you think about any league anywhere, that's almost unheard of.
Like the Hockey East and Mets.
It's been unbelievable. We can debate that, but that's all right. No, but it's been absolutely fantastic for our league. Cornell just won the regular season championship on Friday night. I was in Ithaca there. They've got a fantastic team, but we have a number of teams that can win our playoff title, which is great. And you look at the men's side, Quinnipiac has really done a great job recently. They've had a really nice stretch run, but you've got Clarkson in the mix, you've got Colgate in the mix. But when you look at our standings, the one thing that I not only remember as a player in the league, but as a fan of the league, it's so tight that one goal, one way or the other, is going to be the difference between someone finishing 8th and 11th, 3rd and 6th, which is great. That's what you want as a league. You want that parity. You want that opportunity for the student athletes to be able to play meaningful hockey down the stretch, and we have that.
When you took this job over, what was, you've got a ton of goals, but if you could just think of one that you had that moment when you take that job and you're starting off, what was that goal and how have you achieved it or how close are you to it?
Well, your goals evolve, no different than anything else, but really simple. I wanted to amplify what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Our league is phenomenal. You look at the growth of hockey, our league has its fingerprints all over it. Gary Bettman went to Cornell. Bill Daly went to Dartmouth. We have 2 vice presidents in the NHL who went to Princeton. You've got 2 of the PWHL general managers who are alums of our league. Jessica Campbell, the first women's NHL coach at Cornell. You can go on head of USA Hockey. You go on and on and on. The leadership of hockey in so many ways has come through our league,
right.
And that's something that we're really proud of. And then at the same time, we're producing world-class players who are going on and playing in the PWHL. We have the first overall pick in Sarah Fillier, and obviously, players we'll see Aaron Fox tonight from Harvard, who's obviously an ECAC alum for Team USA. So we're producing NHLers, we're producing PWHLers, and we're doing a great job in putting players into leadership positions in hockey, which is paving the way for all the people who are there now.
Take us through your career in hockey and how you got involved in this and what led to this position for you.
Well, I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and was fortunate to play for Lowell McDonald, whose son actually won the Hobie Baker Award at Harvard. And his other son played at, who just won the Lowell Senior won the Mariucci Award. I was fortunate to play for him. Then I went and played 2 years in Green Bay in the USHL, was able to win a title with Don Granato. Great coach. I had Marco Sicchi as my other coach. I had 2 phenomenal coaches. Then I went to Union College. I had 4 of the best years of my life. I was fortunate to be able to play afterwards for a few years. I never made it to the NHL. I played primarily in the ECHL. And then I went to Europe. I worked for Bobby Orr when I was in college. I always thought that that's was going to be my path, was to be an agent. And I told my agent at the time, I said, hey, just look to see if there's coaching jobs. Literally 3 weeks later, he says, I got a coaching job for you. It's horrendous money, but it's a great city. And I went to Edinburgh, Scotland, and wound up having a fantastic 3 years there. And then I went to the Belfast Giants. I became involved with the Great Britain national team, and then found up my way back to the USHL and my roots there before going back into coaching and then coming back into the front office at the USHL, which led me to the ECAC. And that wide range of hockey, I've been able to have my hands in lots of different things. And the one thing that I really appreciate is I know the sacrifice the coaches make. I know the sacrifice the families make. I know the sacrifice the players make. And the things that we have to do have to be reflective of that sacrifice.
Right.
And we have to do a really good job showcasing the things that they're doing and give them great experiences.
As we were just saying, Pierre announced it as we came on the air here. We will be broadcasting live. We're going to figure out the details from the ECAC tournament and championship up in Lake Placid. I've never been there. Paint me a picture of the atmosphere that I will experience there.
The best part about it, and I tell this regardless of what you're coming as, you come as a couple, you come as a family, you come as, just a group of friends. You're going to park your car, and you won't get back in your car till you leave. And you're going to go into great restaurants, you're going to go into great shops, and you're going to have a great experience. Lake Placid there's so many unique cities in the United States, Charleston, Scottsdale, Vail, but Lake Placid is the hockey version of all of those. Yeah. It has all of the great pieces with that. And then obviously for us, you're in the 1980 rink where Miracle on Ice was, and our players are playing for a championship. I mean, it's easy to get nostalgic about, but it's a really great experience, and it's something that has something for everybody in the family who comes.
And I take it you're going to find us a nice little watering hole to ride.
I suspect I probably can. We may or may not have a sponsor there with the Lake Placid Brewing, so I suspect we can find a way to get you there. But there's no shortage of nice places to have a meal.
That sounds like player. All right, what looking forward? I'm going to get. You don't have to get pick, but just your take on what this game will be like on Thursday, USA Canada.
I mean, the one thing that we saw in the first 9 seconds, you just saw the passion and the energy, and there were talk, and I think hockey people knew it, but there was talk saying, "What is this really going to look like?" Well, everybody knew and everybody saw it, and now coming here into Boston, you see the fact that the building is going to be electric. Yeah. And there's going to be people who are going to sit there all week looking forward to walking and having the opportunity to buy a ticket because you don't have the opportunity to see history very often. and you have that opportunity. And I think the building is going to be absolutely fantastic. And having done a lot of stuff with USA Hockey in my life, absolutely 100%. USA Hockey will have a great night. It'll be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Classes.
Sounds great. Thanks so much.
Doug Christensen joined us here on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network. And now, look at this wonderful looking beer right here. It is a great choice to have right now. Sam Adams Cold Snap. Want to thank Boston Beer Group as well. And a lot of people I see are drinking these right now. Want to thank Johnny Caron for this. I unfortunately cannot drink it, but Pierre is going to take care of that for me. I think.
Sounds like a plan.
So
Thanks so much. Appreciate the time.
Thanks. Doug Christensen joining us here on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny just pointing out he did bring a vino over for me since I can't drink the beer. I love that. Oh, don't you worry. We're pumping that up.
How was it commissioned today?
It was wonderful as always.
Did he extend an invitation to you to go to Lake Placid?
We're going, my friend. We got to work out the details, but we will be there. He said he's got a nice brewery where we can broadcast from.
I know exactly where it is, downtown.
Looking
it's good.
To that, so should be great. We've got another college hockey person here too today.
Nathan Strauss will join us after you and I talk a little bit more, but Nathan's here. He's my partner on UMass hockey broadcast, so he's one of the up-and-coming play-by-play guys. He's really good. We've had him on the show before.
Yep.
He's excellent. And we've got a game coming up next week, UMass Lowell at UMass.
Okay.
It's a Thursday night game, too.
And Nathan and I were just talking. Now, I know they lost Saturday, but he said he could not believe that UMass Amherst was able to go into Boston College on Friday and win that game. Pierre, give a lot of credit. I know he's a friend of yours, and he's a friend of mine. And I'm not just saying it because of that, but I give a lot of credit for the coaching job Greg Carville has done this year because it's a young team. It took them a while. They've had a lot of peaks and valleys, but they're finding their way, and they're still in it.
One of the biggest things is they're getting goaltending. Robbo's been really good. So he's a kid that won for Czechia at the World Junior, got him a bronze medal. He's made a difference. I've done a bunch of their games. And I know Coach Carville's really happy with the way the goaltending has been. Jackson Irvin, too, by the way. He's been excellent. Mm-hmm. But they got Adar Suniev back last weekend. He's a second-round pick of the Calgary Flames. Yep. He's an elite. I don't want Coach Carville to be mad at me, but I'd be surprised if he doesn't sign with Calgary at the end of this year. So getting him back helped. And I think the biggest thing with UMass is they play to an identity, a lot like our friend Mike Cavanaugh at UConn. His team plays to an identity. And I was just talking with a bunch of fans here.
I saw.
And it's great. I'm so honored that they want to talk hockey. And one of the things they're all saying, it's what you and I have been talking about all year. Hockey East is a beast.
Oh, my gosh.
And you just had the ECAC commissioner on.
Yep.
But even he knows.
Yeah.
Hockey East is just savage, man. Like every game. Yeah. It's just barbaric.
Yeah.
And so who knows? I know BC's a favorite. I know BU's really good. I know Providence is amazing.
See you guys.
I know all these teams. See you, Commish. Thanks, Commish. See you later. But I'm telling you right now, nobody knows. You may think these guys are going to win or those guys. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I want to ask you, you're talking about some ECAC players that it might be going out. You're talking about just college hockey players that go to Calgary, right? Who's the scout out here? They've got a couple good college hockey players from the New England area, from the Northeast.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know who their regional scout is. Yeah, Matt. I'm a big fan.
Coming into his own.
Matt's a good player. I watched him play 2 years at Harvard. There were some really good battles with Colgate and Harvard. There were some. But I respect Coronado a lot. He's a heck of a player, and he never complained about it. And there was some nasty stuff going on in that one, but it was all good. Calgary's done a good job. Suniev's a heck of a player.
Yep.
He's a Penticton kid, played for our friend Freddie Harbinson.
That's right.
It's all good. I'm going to let Nathan come on with you.
I would love that.
Because I got to go do some picture taking. And
then we'll come back. We'll do our Q&A.
Back. Yep, 100%.
We'll wrap her up.
And what is this called again,
That
Jimmy?
is called Sam Adams Cold Snap. Not the cold snap
No.
that we're having up in the Northeast, but the cold snap, the beer. It will warm you during that cold snap outside.
Johnny told me, Pierre, you got to get I said, okay, I promise.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get it on.
Pierre, I'll tell you what. When I could drink beers, I had it. It is tasty.
Well, I've never had it, so.
You liking it?
It's good. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. You got Nathan now.
Sam Adams Cold Snaps. We should get Nathan a Sam Adams Cold Snap if we can. We're doing a ton of that right here. We've got a lot of those flowing. They got the sun cruises have been great as well. See you later. A lot of people pouring in. A lot of people heading over to the rink right now. It's 7 o'clock. We got the 8 p.m. start for USA Sweden, but we're going to talk a little more college hockey, specifically my alma mater, UMass Amherst. And joining me now is the one and only play-by-play man, and as Pierre said, a great up-and-comer in our business, Nathan Strauss. Nate, how you doing, buddy?
I am fantastic. This could not have been a better day after a worse start to the day. Kind of like you. My car was frozen in this morning.
You were telling me as I was driving down, yeah.
It took 3.5 hours with boiling water to dig it out.
Uh-huh.
But after that, it ended up going
You
great.
were really doing that old trick?
Oh, yeah.
And it worked?
I had nothing else to do. I had a plow come by and try and scrape me out. I missed puck drop. I missed the anthems by about 10 minutes.
It's all right.
I was going to go to Fan Fest. I woke up at 7:40. I was all sweaty and tired, but the day's been on an uphill climb since then.
You know what? It's funny. Like, I find like when I don't do everything right, everything goes right. And when I try to do everything right and be responsible, like I got up really early. I wrote a story. I was out the hotel door by 9. But then as I'm going down, walking, I parked down the street from my hotel because it was about $25 cheaper. So I'm seeing cars spinning out and the roads aren't plowed. The sidewalks is like 3 feet of snow. And I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be one of those days. And it was, but I'm here safe. And you know what? Like I was just saying, Commissioner there, the ECAC, Doug Christensen, who joined us here. When I got to the border, there must have been so many other people in the same shoes as me, like trying to race down to get to the games because the guy just rushed me right through. He's like,
must have been a hockey fan.
He goes, there's nothing I should know about in the car, right? You didn't run through the questions. It's like good 10 questions you get. He's like, nothing I should know about. I'm like, nope, see ya. And it was like, boom. And once you got in the States, the roads cleared up. But I'll tell everybody who's driving out there tonight on the highways, just be careful if you're in the Northeast. Those winds are something. I don't know if you felt it coming down from Amherst.
Oh, yeah.
Last I checked, it was up to 40 miles an hour in some places, so be careful driving out there. But anyhow, let's get into UMass hockey right now. As I was saying to you before we were coming on the air, I know they lost 4-1 on Saturday. That's fine. When I said to Pierre last week when we were on the air at McLean's Public House, I said, I just hope they can get a split. And when I said that, Nathan, my idea was, all right, they keep it tight on Friday and they lose at BC, and then they win on Saturday. It was the reverse. What was the key for them to go into one of the toughest, if not the toughest arenas in college? Well, I'd say some people argue, let's just say in the Hockey East, to go into Conti form and get that huge win that they need right now.
Well, they played with confidence and they played with aggression. Like the puck battles, they won them all. Mm-hmm. First period, you got an early lead. You let the game be played at your pace. I think that really helped. And I think BC, too, was reeling a little bit. I don't think they expected that Beanpot, the second and third periods in particular, to go the way they did, especially going against a freshman goalie and Yegorov for BU, who was in his, third game. Mm-hmm. So BC, maybe a little shell-shocked. UMass took the game to them, got that early goal, but then they let their stars take over, both as far as their skaters go, but Michael Frabel was excellent. And I think Western Conference fans should better learn his name pretty quickly.
So I forget, this whole week's been a blur for me. I don't know if I saw you in a video say this, or it was just a quote from you that I saw on social, on Twitter or X, whatever, where you said that the Coach Carvel had a talk with him before the game. And he said, look, this is the type of game. You can't allow more than 2, man. I really need you to step up for us. Not that he hasn't been, but he's like, you are going to be the key there. And for him to just answer the bell like that, what did Coach Carvel think about that after the game? He
was pleased. And they've talked about his coachability as a player. And goalies are weird, right? Like, goalies are always weird. Yeah, right.
So there you go. Example A.
But look, he was the 3rd or 4th youngest player in college hockey last year as a number 1 goalie in Hockey East. He was a second-team all-conference player. This year, he goes up to Canada, knocks out Canada for a second straight year. Like, it takes some chutzpah, it takes some guts to be able to do that. Yeah. And Greg Carvel was right. He's rarely wrong, but he was really right in this case because Carvel made 36 saves that game, and BC gets good chances. They've got all these first and second round picks. They've got Ryan Leonard, who's in my opinion a surefire Hobie Baker winner this year. Yep. Maybe some people would argue otherwise, but he was really good. And the fact that he answered the bell, I think, speaks really well to what he'll do in the future at the NHL level, too, because when you're an NHL goalie, you go through rough spells. You were talking about Jordan Binnington earlier. Yep. Benner won the Stanley Cup here in 2019.
Yeah.
And then had 2 really rough years. The year where they played the Avs in the Avs Stanley Cup run, like he really struggled. And then he's bounced back well. Like goalies they ebb and flow. But to be able to control when you flow rather than ebb, if that makes sense, is a really important thing.
What and I could tell. I was watching highlights online. It seemed like you had a good UMass contingent that made it out to Conti Forum, huh?
This is not UMass propaganda, but I will say UMass considerably outnumbers their home fans at BC and Northeastern. BU is a little bit of a mix because they have a little bit more of a local core, and their students are more organized. I don't know if you saw the prank at the Bean Pot.
Yeah, that was amazing.
But look, like I grew up going to BC and BU games. I grew up in Newton, right? So I would go to Conti Forum, I'd go to Aganis. There's always a good number of UMass fans there. And the last time UMass had won at Conti Forum was the national championship year with no fans. The time before that,
that's right. Yeah.
The time before that was an OT win. I was there for that one as well. And there was another like 60-40 split as far as fans go. So look, UMass, as far as Boston-based colleges go, has the largest alumni base of any college in the area, right? There's 150,000 of us, and I can say us, right? Because it's the two of us. So it makes sense, and it always warms my heart a little bit to see how strong the UMass faithful are.
I know I love co-hosting with him, but what's it been like for you working with Pierre on these broadcasts?
Oh, I'm glad he's not hearing me right now. He's too busy, he's the
mayor.
He really is. So there are two things that really stand out. First of all, he knows everyone and he's never forgotten a name. So no matter how many people come up to him and ask for a picture or just want to talk hockey with him,
we're watching.
Right. Exactly. He always makes time for them. And I think that's really important, right? Because he made time for me. This guy has been to 6 Olympics and was a 2-time Stanley Cup winner. Like he doesn't have to do that, but he enjoys it. Yeah. And I think that's the kind of person that I want to be. And so that's been really great.
You're well on your way, buddy.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thanks
of course.
for joining us here.
But the other thing is that he just keeps the show going. It's almost like, in improv, you yes and. If you say something, even if he doesn't agree with it, he'll keep it going. And the stories and the people he knows, it's just been a blast. And I can't wait. We got UMass Lowell next week. And then maybe even more coming up after that. So it should be a lot of fun.
I mean, I'm on it, and I hope to someday maybe write his book. We'll see if he lets me. But there's a lot of stories in there.
I would read it first time through.
All right, sounds good. Nathan, I can't wait to see you again. Hopefully, I'll see you maybe during the playoffs.
Yeah, hockey's tournament in the Garden.
I haven't been there yet, so maybe.
Well, you got my number. Just all right. It's not a hard sell.
We'll say it, and we'll hit Antonio's.
Perfect, without a doubt.
Sounds good. Nathan Strauss joined us here on the eye test. Can you go track down the aforementioned mayor for me, Nathan, if you could? Nathan will go and get Pierre McGuire here. We are live at West End Johnny's, 138 Portland Street. Oh my gosh, waitress almost just took a spill. Amazing save. I wish you could have seen it. That was some skills. 138 Portland Street here in Boston, right down the street from TD Garden. Want to thank Johnny Caron. Want to thank Sam Adams, Cold Snap. Everybody's starting to down those here, staying warm inside here before the game as they head over for USA Sweden at TD Garden. A reminder, we will be here again on Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. to tee up the championship game, the Four Nations face-off between USA and Canada. Really looking forward to that. Pierre.
How about how good Nathan is?
He's amazing.
He's going to be on the big show. He's going to be on the big show. He'll be on the big show.
You can tell right there. Pierre, this place, great environment. I see a lot of people coming up talking. Everybody's so excited.
It's awesome.
And all ages, too.
Oh,
that's what I love.
The kids from the Maritimes, kids from Sweden, we watch you in Sweden. Yeah, thank you. It's so nice, And I start telling them, I know this city and this, and they're like, no way. I said, I've been there. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. I met a bunch of Finns this afternoon.
I was going to ask you. Yeah, you hadn't mentioned
good, really good visit with the Finns. And so he started talking about different parts of Finland that I've been to and players that I know. It was really emotional. It was cool. I really enjoyed it. It brings me back. I've been going there since 84, 85.
It's funny. When I was driving down, I was listening to pregame for Canada, Finland, and John Cooper was talking about, everyone's kind of, as they always do. I don't know why they don't learn. Everyone's overlooking Finland. And Cooper's like, you guys gotta slow down. Do you not know anything about it? And he's almost word for word was saying what you were saying, just about how their identity is taught at such a young age, up all the way into the pro ranks.
They really respect the game. The Finns are amazing, and they're hardworking, They're very proud people. If you don't believe me, go look at Google. They won a winter war against the Russians back in the early 1900s, and they're as tough and robust a society as you'll ever meet. I really respect them a lot.
Another place I want to go over. I want to go there someday and watch some hockey with you here.
Yeah.
Listen, we've got the questions lining up here. Before we get to that,
Yep.
I want to remind everybody again, we are at West End Johnny's, 138 Portland Street in Boston, pounding back the cold snaps from Sam Adams. Thanks to Boston Beer Group for that. Thanks to Johnny Caron. I know you've been with Johnny most of the day. He looks excited. This is great for him.
This has been really good. The bean pot was great for him.
That's right.
And you know what? We care about people, especially honorable people like him. Johnny's amazing guy.
And we're appreciative to the game of hockey that we're able to meet those people.
Yeah, he wants to help grow the game too, you know.
Yep, I hear you.
How you doing, sir? Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, let's get to our sponsors right now, Pierre. Let's go over to TCS Customs and Logistics. Unlock the full potential of your shipping operation with TCS Customs and Logistics. From around the corner to around the world, flatbeds to air freights, customs clearance to drawback consulting. TCS is a one-stop shop for all things transport. Moving pieces and delivering a peace of mind. For a no-obligation customs or freight quote, contact sickpodcast at shiptcs.com. Again, that is sickpodcast at shiptcs.com. And then let's get over to our other sponsor, Betway. I know I was talking to some friends of mine who learned about Betway through us. They love the props they offer, so I urge everybody over there to definitely go check out all the different props they're offering for the Four Nations Face-Off. Apparently, a friend of mine who's a big hockey handicapper said this is the most props you'll find anywhere, not on those other gambling sites. Betway has the most, so get over there right now. You can pretty much bet on anything having to do with the Four Nations Face-Off. But you can also right now, if you go to Betway, you can go all the way with Betway and get a free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the details section to create an account and redeem your welcome offer. Remember, this offer is only available for new customers. Terms and conditions apply. It is not available in Ontario right now. You must be 18 plus. Always bet responsibly. Let's go to the sick pick of the night.
It's time for Sick Picks. Brought to you by Betway.
All right, Pierre. Well, listen, I was listening to you as I was making my final approach into the city of Boston here, down from Montreal. Finally, man, it felt great when I could see the skyline, and then I see the garden. But anyhow, I was listening to you talk with our good friend Mitch Melnick, and I believe it was John Still, who works with Mitch, asking you, Pierre, if you're Sweden, I mean, what do you do? Because you can't advance after this. The finals are always set, and I don't know if you want to inform our listeners what you said on TS 690 about why this game will still mean something. Well,
if you're the United States, you want to always get better. That's one of the things you stress to your team when you get into a short tournament. Get better every day. And if you're the Swedes, there's huge professional pride there. They don't want to lose to Canada. They don't want to go through this tournament with 0 wins.
Yep.
The Finns beat them.
Yeah.
There's a lot here. So I could see this being a good game. Look, it's not the same American roster.
No.
McAvoy's not playing. Kachuk's not playing. So it's a bit different. That being said, Jake Sanderson, huge opportunity for Jake.
Exactly.
And I'm really
– in that.
I was just going to say Jake Ottinger's going to play. So huge opportunity for other guys to go out and play, which is really important.
All right. And you know what? On that note, that's why I'm going to give you 2 bets. First of all, I'm going to tell you to pick the draw. That means the game will go to overtime. You can get some great value on that. Plus 320 right now. And then I'm going to go with Sweden to get the win. I think they go and they get a win, eke out a close one at the end there, and go home at least with 1 W under their belt. So the draw and Sweden on the money line. All right, let's get to that Q&A right now. Pierre, what do we got? Kathleen, did you hear what John Cooper said about the Crosby leadership, mentorship, great person? Provided he's healthy, how important would he be to our Olympic team?
You can answer this one. I took so many slings and arrows defending Sydney for so many years. I'm glad people are realizing that he's just that special.
Well, he's such a perfect spokesman for the game. He's a perfect example as if you've got a young hockey player, what you want him to grow up to be, not just as a hockey player, but also as a person. And Pierre, you taught me that since I've known you for at least over 15 years now. But that's one thing I noticed, not just about you, Pierre, as I get older and I get more involved in this game. is every time people that know Sid or people that play against him or played with him talk about him, they don't talk about the player first. They talk about the person. And that right there is the example.
100%. That's a great question. Who asked that question, by the way?
Can you pull that up again, guys? Who asked that question again? That was Kathleen.
Kathleen, that's an awesome question. I'm really glad you said that. Look at Sidney Crosby's an elite player. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
But as good a player as he is, way better person. Way better person.
And, of course, we've got a Johnny Gaudreau jersey right in front of us here. The same could be said for the late Johnny Gaudreau as well.
Hold on one second. I got to go.
Pierre McGuire's going to get up there right now and take a picture with them. Let's go to the next question. I'll get this one. What do we got? Oh, the camera was turned. Sorry about that. Pierre, can you just fix the camera there? Thank you. Cheers, guys. All right, there we go. Pierre's back. Here we go. A to Z me. Canada needs to find some goalies. It's quickly becoming our biggest weakness. Thoughts on that, Pierre?
Goalies? Yeah, 100%. I agree. They don't have Jacob Fowler. They don't have Trey Augustine. They do have Sebastian Cossa long term, but there's not a lot of depth in the Canadian goaltending system right now. They definitely have to find that.
Is there anything you can pinpoint about what happened
there?
Hey,
how you doing? Hold on one second. I got to go see it.
The mayor here. 1 second. He's saying hi to an old friend here from Finland, actually. I think. Anyhow, we'll get to Pierre here. Pierre's coming back now. We are live at West End Johnny's, 138 Portland Street.
That was Laura Bellamy, the head coach of Harvard's women's hockey team.
I thought somebody else.
She was just saying thank you. I did some things to help her out the last couple of days, so it's good.
Yeah, ECAC playoffs for sure.
Cornell. Well, we'll see. We got to
yeah,
there.
Put the cart before the
horse. They're a rebuilding program. They're a rebuilding program.
Anyhow, but Pierre, is there something back to that goaltending question? Is there anything you can pinpoint about why that specific position has regressed in Canada or no?
Because I think a lot of kids in Canada grew up wanting to be Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid or, you can say Nathan McKinnon, Brad Marchand.
Like the social and YouTube.
So back in the day, think about it. Everybody wanted to be Patrick Roy.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to be Marty Brodeur,
Yep.
Eddie Belfour,
Yep.
Jocelyn Thibault, Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yep.
So for a long time, those goalies were there.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you got Crosby, you got McKinnon, you got McDavid, John Tavares.
I'm with you. And I think too, Pierre, a lot of it is the social media generation and the YouTube where we know how into highlights these kids are and how they're always in their backyards. They see a move on YouTube. They want to go try in the driveway. Most of the time, it's not a goalie move, so that might be something
good
too.
Point. Very
All
good
right,
point.
next question. Bilal Aldemek. Hey, guys, first off, Pierre, I want to see you down 5 of those beers. Those would be Sam Adams Cold Snaps. Just kidding. Do you think this four-nation tourney, what do you think this four-nation tourney does for the growth of hockey moving forward?
Good. It's been good.
I think it's a good prelude.
It's really good. It sets up for the Olympics really well. I don't know if they'll ever do another one of these.
No, well, here's what I've been told, and it was Bill Daly who told me. It's the goal now is, Pierre, in 2028, they will go back to the World Cup. They're still determining whether it will be 6 or 8 countries. That's what they're looking to do.
They're going to go 8.
Yeah, I would love that.
I'm going to say, but they also know what we've been saying.
Yes, Russia needs to be there.
Czechia needs to be there. Slovakia needs to be there. Germany needs to be there. So I'm encouraged. I'm saying 8.
All right.
But all I'm going to say is this is a great dress rehearsal for the Olympics, and the NHL and the NHLPA and every player that participated in this should be very proud. This is a big thing that they've done. Very good.
Totally agree. And you know what, Pierre, too? And we're going to see if I'm right and if we're right, because you agree with me up in Montreal. You're seeing sort of a reinvigorated a lot of players that maybe we're kind of hit a lull in their regular season with the NHL. You're seeing them get reinvigorated through this tournament right now.
We'll see. The only
one
thing
of them I'd say would be Charlie McAvoy.
Yeah, I was going to say Charlie's definitely got to be one of them. My only concern, Shea Theodore got hurt pretty bad. So I don't, Matthew Tkachuk's hurt right now.
Yep.
Charlie McAvoy's hurt right now. Like, I'm just telling you.
That it doesn't linger.
I'm going to tell you something that people don't talk about. I had an NHL owner after 2014 in Sochi, very angry, saying he'd never sending another player to play international hockey.
Wow.
And look we haven't had international hockey since then.
So.
You can say all the other stuff. We have not.
I'm with you. We'll see what happens with that. All right, next question. McKeith's American. How do Florida teams feel about the Kachuk injury? Florida fans, excuse me.
The
I'm
injury?
guessing they don't feel too good.
I don't think they
I
feel
haven't
good.
seen any,
But I'm hoping Matthew's not going to be out for a long. Look, he's an important player.
Mhm.
Matthew Kachuk's a special player.
Oh, yeah.
So he doesn't skate
He's
real.
so dynamic.
He doesn't skate real fast. He's not the biggest guy. He's just crazy.
He's just a
and I
presence.
say crazy in a good way. In a good way.
He creates
Yeah.
good chaos.
So he's a chaos creator. Exactly right, Jimmy. That's what he is.
All right, next question. Ron LaRoe, do we know what the ratings were like Saturday night?
Yeah.
Especially Canada. Should there be good ratings Thursday night?
The United States had 4.4 million viewers. That's a big number.
That's a big
On
number.
a Saturday night. That's a big number. Trust me.
In the
Now,
middle of the season.
I'm not trying to be mean. In a World Junior year, that doesn't equate in Canada. Just being honest. And to put it in perspective, the 2010 gold medal game, Canada versus U.S. In Canada, the population then was 33 million people. There were 26 million viewers. In the United States, 325 million people. There were 33 million viewers. So 4.4 million is nice, but it's not 2010. Just
amazing.
Let's just call it what it is.
All right, let's get to the next question. What do we got? Hey, what's Jake Sanderson's ceiling as a player up here?
Jake Sanderson ceiling is could be like Charlie McAvoy on the left side. Very good player. Jake is a tremendous kid. I played a role in getting him out of Dakota, helped sign him, think the world of him, coached his dad, coached his father. Very good hockey people. I'm a big fan of Jake as a person and as a player. High ceiling, very high ceiling.
Before we take the next question, too, I just want to give a shout out to everybody in our Q&A section, Pierre, because we were at a different time tonight. We then had to change that because of my travel issues. The fact we're getting this many questions, Pierre, means a lot to me. I'm sure it does to you. We appreciate
I love our fans. We're so grateful to all of you. You have no idea how appreciative we are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you coming in with us at this different time. All right, next question. Ethan Russell. What's up, Ethan? Brock Faber. Let's talk about him. What a tournament he's having. I've been very impressed. Look, he's a guy that some people are saying, maybe he shouldn't be there or not.
Who said that?
I saw some critics on just Facebook, Twitter. I don't know their names. I'll start taking names for you. Want me to do that?
Yeah, because I want to blast those people.
All right, sounds good.
Like they're going to blast other people. I'm going to blast them because they don't know what they're talking about. He's a tremendous player. He and Jacob Slavin as a matchup tandem are off the charts good. They're not a little good. They're really good.
When Billy Guerin is no longer the Minnesota Wild GM, whenever that happens, that may go down as one of, if not the best trades he made.
Well, that was for Kevin Fiala.
It was a great hockey trade.
Thank you. See you later. Thank you. So the gentleman and the lady that just left, I coached his brother in college, and his dad was an All-American at Boston College, the late, great Red Martin. And that's for the hockey people. That gentleman that just said goodbye.
Wow.
So his dad was an All-American player at Boston College, and I coached his brother, Sean. And Red was, I was just telling, we were telling daddy stories, and I was saying, I love hanging with your dad because his dad was old school. And if his kid didn't play well, he would tell you, don't worry, coach, yell at him. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, that's good. But anyways, getting back to Brock Faber.
Yeah.
He and Jacob Slavin right now, let's say they played in the NHL together. Let's just say they did.
Right.
That'd be the best shutdown tandem in the league. Not even close. Yeah. Not even close.
I remember, Pierre, when he got to Minnesota, and you were you just kept raving about him, like, Murph, on and off the air, you're like, Murph, watch this kid. He's coming, I'm telling you. And man, did he arrive fast.
So you know the way Ryan, my son, plays, and he was in Minnesota's camp 2 years in a row with Brock, and he just can't say enough, not just as a player, but as a person, like the type of person that he is. He's just huge fan.
Good stuff.
So,
all right, next question. What do we got? Brad K.
Thank you.
Successful testing of the 10-minute overtime and 3-point games get brought to the regular season. Brad, I'm not sure if you're watching. We had Bill Daly on from McLean's Public House last week. He said the point thing will never happen, but he did indicate they are thinking about the 10-minute overtime, Pierre.
100%. And the point thing's not hard to figure out. They need teams to stay relevant into the month of February and March. And if you did a 3-point for a win and 0 for a loss, a lot of the middles teams will be eliminated probably by the end of January. They're not doing that. They're not going to do that. They'll do the overtime, though.
Yeah.
The overtime's going to
I think
happen.
that's common. I
The
know, but-
overtime's going to happen. And just so everybody understands, that's not the league and that's not the players. It's them working together. That's got to be collectively bargained in to the rules. And it's also got to pass with the competition committee. Good night. And so, yeah, I do believe that will happen.
And of course, they are getting ready to start negotiating on that new CBA soon. So we'll see what happens there. All right, next question. Alex Ivanowski, very happy that Jacob Slavin is getting the credit he deserves on the national level. Best defensive D-man in the NHL right now, Pierre?
I'm going around the league. Give me
I
a
know, I'm
chance
trying to
here.
think in my head too.
I'm just going around. I got one that might be able to rival him. You want me to tell you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think that Zach Werenski, who's his teammate, he's not getting nearly enough love. This
No.
guy, and you know what know I've been telling you
Look
for
at
a
the way
while.
he's put Columbus on his back.
Yeah,
especially with all the tragedy and the injuries.
yeah. I'm just telling you, like, I'm not saying he's way better,
No,
but he's got more offensive pop and he can stabilize a game defensively. So I would say he's in that discussion.
But
Don't forget that McDonough guy in Tampa too.
Yeah.
I know he's older. That Ryan, if you're watching, because he watches sometimes, Ryan, you know what I think.
he's had a great year.
He's a hell of a player, boy. Good night, sir.
Great question.
Thank
by
you.
Alex,
Thank
too.
you
All right.
very much. Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed those Sam Adams cold snaps. That was my tester since I couldn't drink the beer. Leave it out. Were they good? All right, cold snap. There you go. There you go. Sam Adams cold snap. You heard it right there. The best we have. All right, next question. Ron LaRoque, what has Hockey Canada learned so far with this team, the Olympics, and I guess the USA
They're
as
not
well?
big enough.
Yep, that's how we start off the show. They're not big enough, not mean enough.
Doesn't mean that they can't win, but if you're going to play in the
It will help.
Olympics, it'll help to be bigger.
All right, next question. Ethan Russell again. Any thoughts on who's winning the knapsack? Cushing looks like they are getting hot at the right
Cushing.
time. They took down St. Mark's on Saturday. Ethan had messaged me about this too. I'm glad you brought it up. Ethan.
Nice.
Thank you.
Knapsack's good. Cushing's definitely making a run. There's no question.
What about Rivers and our good friend Freddie Meyer?
Well, Freddie's done a heck of a job. Really good job. It's going to be a battle. The parity's really amazing. So I can't say who's going to win, but I'd say those are two good choices. Avon, there you go. Avon, we got it. I used to.
Toddy Carroll
I'm good. Oh, just hanging out, you know.
doing the eye test right here.
No. No. Thank you. I just got to do this show. Thank you, though.
Cheers.
No,
No
it's
worries.
okay. Thank you.
No
Thank
worries. All right,
Thank you.
next question. This is what Pierre's dealing with here. J-Fed, I want to see Matthews and Marta drop the gloves Thursday night.
That's not happening. Move
That's
on.
not going to happen.
That's not
All right, next
happening.
question. Alex and Nelson, glad to see you back and safe. Jimmy, this goes for both of you. What's the worst weather you both had to drive through and where? I got to imagine Western Canada, Pierre, isn't an easy drive.
So I had a trip once from
Thanks, by the way, Alex.
Humboldt, Saskatchewan to Regina, and I was running out of gas, and there was no gas station. It was a big storm and a lot of blowing snow. And I can tell you this, and I'm not afraid to say it. I looked at the gas gauge. I'm going, if I run out of gas here, this is going to be very bad for me. And I kept saying prayers I'm not kidding. I was saying prayers. Please, Lord, get me to Regina. And if you do, I'll never do this again in terms of running my tank low. And I got to like the outskirts of Regina. I was just on the Trans-Canada. And anybody that knows what I'm talking about, Humboldt to Regina in the winter is a tough drive. Not a lot of highway there. And I got there, and I've stuck by that. So that would have been almost 38 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
I won't say today. Mine was the longest today, but I don't know if it was the toughest. But one thing, Pierre, that's tough is that blowing snow in the prairie.
Well, that's the
It's like
hardest.
bright and sunny, but it doesn't matter if that stuff starts coming on the road there.
I had a scout, Johnny Chapman, legendary scout, and he coached most of the Sutters in Lethbridge. Johnny Chapman followed me once from Swift Current to Medicine Hat. It's a long drive because I didn't have tail lights and it was blowing snow. And when we got to the hotel in Medicine Hat, he said, I stayed behind you because you don't have tail lights. That's how tight the scouting fraternity is.
that's
And always, Johnny Chapman's a legend, man.
Yeah.
On the prairie, a legendary guy. Think the world of Johnny. I hope somebody tells you about this. Great person.
And a big, I want to give to end the trip and really save me, get me here on time. We got to give a shout out to Johnny Cron's cousin,
Oh,
Trevor
my
King.
God.
Saved
Trevor,
the day
awesome.
for me. Gave me a nice spot over in the north end right by here, so I didn't have to circle around looking for a spot. So, Trevor, I know you're here having a good time right now, but if you do hear this, really, man, you saved the day. And Trevor's got some great ideas for us. I'm going to talk to you about Pierre later, but I appreciate his fine work. Get me here to the bar on time for the eye test. All right, what do we got? Any more? Jason Logan. What's up, Jay? It was great seeing Jason up here in
Jason
Montreal.
owns McLean's Public
He
House.
does, huh?
He's big there. He's popular.
With Flower having the year he's had, why do you think he didn't get picked?
Nah.
Do you think he just wants rest the body and try to finish up big? It was awesome seeing you guys in Montreal. Same to you,
They're
Jay.
going a different direction. It's not
Yeah.
any reflection on Marc Andre.
No.
They're just going a different
It just
direction.
wasn't a time.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Marvin Matthews, no questions today. I just want to say thank you to you guys for the great work. This podcast is consistently informative and entertaining. Marvin, that means a lot.
Marvin, you're a superstar. We appreciate you so much. You've been with us from day one. It's almost we're getting close. It's almost 2 years now, Jimmy.
Yep.
And people like Marvin have made it great. Alex Evanowski, Ron LaRoque.
Yep.
I can think of them just off the top of my head. You just see I have no notes here.
Yeah.
Phenomenal people. We're so grateful to all of you. You have no idea how much this means. And, think about what happened tonight. The commissioner of the ECAC came right up to me and said, we want you guys in Lake Placid.
Yeah.
We want to help grow our brand. And I'm like, we'll be there. And that's what's been happening. And we're like, it started with Friendship 4 in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
You made the commitment. I made the commitment. And our fans made the commitment. And it's just exploded from there. And we're so grateful to all of you.
And
you have
again,
no
here
idea.
right now, West End Johnny's as well on 138 Portland Street. Everyone throwing back those wonderful Sam Adams cold snaps. All right, what do we got? Any more left? I think that's it. That's what Sammy says. Big thanks to Sammy, by the way.
Sammy.
And in yellow, back in Montreal under the snow. We appreciate them taking the time.
Can I show you a picture?
Yeah.
I want to show you a picture. This is from my 88-year-old mother's house.
Sally, we know you're listening. We're thinking of you as
So
well.
when I show you this, you're going to be like, no way. And I'm going to be like, yes way.
Well, I know in yellow said when he went out to shovel the snow, it was 3 feet high. So
Where the heck did it go? I had the picture right here. I wanted to show it to you.
And I want to again thank McLean's Public House, everyone that came out there. 1420 Peel Street. If you're there,
I don't have it.
Go there for the game on Thursday to watch that championship game, USA Canada in the rematch. That's going to be the best place to be in Montreal if you want to have a great atmosphere to watch that game.
4.5 feet of snow on our porch.
Oh, my gosh. And if you want to come down in Boston, you can't get tickets to the game, West End Johnny's, 138 Portland Street. We'll be here before. Come early. Say hi to us. We love seeing you. We appreciate all the people that came out today.
Yep.
I appreciate our guests, Doug Christensen, Nathan Strauss, and Pierre.
Thank you.
Good to see you
Really,
finally.
I'm glad
Great
you're
to see
safe.
you. Yep. And I'm
I was
glad
really
you are
worried
as well.
about my little pony. I was worried about him a lot. And
we made it.
you did it.
And thanks to the border as well for getting me through there fast. I appreciate it. And again, thanks to Trevor King. Thanks to Johnny Caron.
Yep.
We will see you here Thursday at 6 p.m. sharp on the eye test on the Sick Podcast Network live from West End Johnny's, 138 Portland Street. Enjoy the hockey.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.